I didn't understand how to make $1 billion for a very, very long time. And the first misunderstanding is that you don't make $1 billion to become a billionaire.
They weren't born billionaires. Many of them started with nothing, no inheritance, no silver spoon, just an idea, a spark, and the courage to risk it all. Yet today, they command industries, shape global economies, and redefine what success even means. But how did they do it? What makes their minds operate so differently? And what secrets lie behind the massive empires they built from scratch? Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you'll see that their success isn't just about money. It's about mindset, obsession, and an unrelenting hunger that refuses to die. The power of obsession. Every billionaire shares one dangerous quality: obsession, not passion. Passion fades when things get hard, but obsession consumes everything in its path. Think about it. While others clock out at 5 and unwind, billionaires are still thinking, planning, and pushing through the night. It's not because they have to, it's because they can't stop. Their minds are wired to chase progress, like a fire that never burns out. They're obsessed with solving problems, with improving, with staying 10 steps ahead. They don't care about approval or comfort. They care about progress. Obsession is what turns an idea on a napkin into a global empire. When people told them no, they didn't hear rejection, they heard a challenge. They thrive on resistance because it fuels their fire. That's the first secret. Success doesn't come from interest. It comes from total immersion. They live their ideas, breathe them, and let them dominate every waking moment. To them, business isn't a job, it's an identity. They blur the line between life and work until both become the same thing. And that's why, when others quit, they're just getting started. Seeing what others don't. Every empire begins with a vision invisible to the average person. Billionaires have a strange ability to spot patterns before anyone else can. They see potential where others see chaos. They see opportunities buried inside problems. When most people complain about what's wrong with the world, billionaires ask, how can I fix it and make it better? It's this visionary thinking that separates them from the crowd. When the market is uncertain, they see advantage. When others see risk, they see timing. It's not luck, it's trained instinct. They study industries, human behavior, and patterns until they can predict trends before they happen. They know timing is everything. Enter too early, and you're forgotten. Enter too late, and you're crushed by competition. But hit that perfect moment, and you change the world. Every major fortune was built on this razor-sharp awareness of timing. Their empires aren't built on following trends, they create them. They think in decades, not days. They're playing chess while the rest of the world plays checkers. That foresight is the second secret, seeing what others miss, because you're willing to look longer and think deeper. The discipline of relentless work. People love to romanticize billionaire lifestyles, private jets, yachts, endless freedom. But few realize how brutally hard they work to get there. Behind every fortune is a story of sleepless nights, failure, and relentless grind. Most of them lived through years of uncertainty, rejection, and ridicule, but they kept moving forward. Discipline is their invisible weapon. They structure their days around focus, not comfort. While others chase balance, they chase results. They're not necessarily smarter than everyone else, but they outwork nearly everyone around them. Their routines are military-level strict. They cut out distractions, optimize every hour, and never stop improving their systems. They understand that time is their most valuable currency. They treat every minute like it has a price tag. And here's the harsh truth, they fail constantly. But they don't see failure as defeat. They see it as feedback. Every setback becomes a blueprint for their next success. They never stop learning. That's why their progress compounds over time, because they keep improving while everyone else gives up. The third secret: discipline. Not motivation, not inspiration, discipline. It's what keeps them moving when motivation runs dry. And it always does. The art of taking calculated risks. Most people think billionaires are gamblers. They're not. They're calculated risk takers. They don't throw themselves into danger blindly. They analyze, test, and execute with precision. They study potential failure from every angle and still step forward when others hesitate. That's what sets them apart. They understand that risk is not something to fear, it's something to manage. Every big reward sits on the other side of uncertainty. So, instead of avoiding it, they master it. They play the long game, betting on their ability to adapt, not just their chances to win. They know that if you wait for perfect certainty, you'll wait forever. The market rewards the brave, not the cautious. But bravery without strategy is suicide. So they build strong teams, gather data, and make bold moves when others freeze. Here's the secret. Billionaires don't need every move to be right. They just need a few of them to hit big. Because one bold decision can change everything. One right move can build a dynasty. That's the mindset difference. They accept risk as a companion, not an enemy. They understand that growth only happens when comfort ends, and that's why they move when everyone else stands still. The network effect. No billionaire builds an empire alone. Every one of them understands the power of people. They know how to attract talent, inspire loyalty, and build relationships that multiply opportunities. Their network is their greatest asset. They surround themselves with people smarter than they are: engineers, strategists, advisors, and creators who can execute their vision. They know how to delegate, but more importantly, they know how to inspire. They build cultures where innovation thrives. Their secret is emotional intelligence. They can read people, build trust, and turn competitors into partners. They don't chase short-term wins. They invest in long-term alliances. They create ecosystems where everyone benefits, and that's how they scale beyond their own capacity. In business, leverage is everything, and nothing creates leverage like relationships. When you have the right people by your side, you can move faster, think bigger, and survive harder challenges. The truth is, your network determines your net worth. Billionaires don't climb alone. They build ladders and bring others up, knowing that collaboration multiplies success faster than isolation ever could. Mastering the power of adaptation. If there's one word that defines every billionaire, it's adaptability. The world changes: fast technology, politics, economics. What made you rich yesterday can destroy you tomorrow. That's why the great ones are never stuck in the past. They evolve constantly. They reinvent themselves before the market forces them to. When disruption hits, they're not scared, they're ready. They pivot, innovate, and transform because they understand that comfort kills empires. Their empires survive because they embrace change instead of resisting it. They don't just react to the future, they shape it. They study trends, embrace technology, and stay ahead of shifts before they become global. They're always learning, reading, analyzing, listening to new ideas. They treat curiosity like oxygen. It keeps their mind sharp and their empire alive. That's why, when industries collapse, they don't sink. They adapt. And when they adapt, they rise even higher. The secret here is flexibility. Rigidity destroys companies, but adaptability builds legacies. The ability to change direction fast without losing vision is one of the most underrated skills in business, and billionaires master it like an art form. Turning vision into systems. Ideas are worthless without structure. Billionaires understand that the true magic lies in systems: organized, repeatable methods that scale their vision into massive operations. They build frameworks that run efficiently, even without them being present. It's how they go from being operators to owners. Instead of working in their business, they work on it. They create mechanisms that produce money, growth, and innovation automatically. They delegate not because they're lazy, but because they understand the value of scale. A billionaire doesn't build a business. They build a machine, a living system that keeps evolving, producing, and growing on its own. That's why they can expand globally, manage thousands of employees, and still stay focused on the next big thing. They think like engineers. Everything must be optimized: time, money, people, processes. Their empires run on efficiency and automation, freeing them to focus on strategy instead of routine. That's the real secret behind empire building. Systems, not chaos. Routine creates stability. Stability creates scalability, and scalability creates empires. Unshakable mindset and emotional resilience. The final and perhaps most powerful secret is psychological. Billionaires are mentally unbreakable. They face failures that would destroy most people: lawsuits, betrayals, public criticism, and losses in the billions. Yet they remain focused. Their resilience comes from perspective. They don't define themselves by success or failure, but by growth. They know emotions can cloud judgment, so they train themselves to stay calm under chaos. When panic hits the market, they look for opportunity. When everything burns, they rebuild. Their mindset is built on patience and belief. They trust the long-term process, not short-term outcomes. They don't let fear or excitement dictate their moves, they let logic lead. That's how they stay consistent while others crumble. Emotional control is their quiet superpower. They don't need external validation because their drive comes from within. They know who they are, what they're building, and why they're doing it. That inner clarity protects them from the noise. They've mastered the rare ability to remain grounded, no matter how high they climb. And that's why, even when they lose everything, they find a way to win again. The final truth. The secrets behind billionaires aren't locked in boardrooms or buried in textbooks. They're human principles: obsession, vision, discipline, adaptability, and emotional strength. These traits build more than wealth. They build empires that outlast their creators. The truth is, anyone can learn these principles, but few are willing to live them, because it takes sacrifice, risk, and relentless consistency. It means giving up comfort for greatness. It means being misunderstood until success makes you undeniable. So, when you look at a billionaire, don't just see the money. See the mindset, the sleepless nights, the constant evolution. Their wealth is a byproduct of something much deeper, a way of thinking that refuses to settle. If you want to build your own empire, stop chasing money. Start chasing mastery. Build habits that outlast motivation. Think long-term. Learn faster. Adapt endlessly. Because in the end, the real secret behind every tycoon isn't luck or privilege. It's the decision to keep going when everyone else stops. And that's how billionaires are made, not born. So now you know the truth behind how billionaires built their empires. Not through luck, not through shortcuts, but through relentless discipline and unshakable belief. The question is, what will you build with what you know now? Because the blueprint is in your hands.